Hey everyone, Chris here for Thomann's Guitars and Basses. In today's Master Your Tone video, I want to talk about a subject that's really close to my heart. It's going to be Telecasters. What is it about these guitars? Why do so many of us have so strong feelings about these guitars and such a strong opinion about them? Let's discuss that today. I guess one of the most important factors is the simplicity, the beauty of simplicity. That is what a lot of Tele players really like. Just two single coils, a three-way toggle, one volume, one tone, no fancy switching, no tremolo, no nothing. It's just a flat top body, a nice neck, a proper Fender scale length, and go. It reveals a lot of your character and playing, but that's also really satisfying. If you learn to live with that, it is really irreplaceable. The second important thing is the character. If you hear someone playing a Telecaster and they want you to notice that it's a Telecaster, more about that later, you will know immediately what guitar you're hearing. And this is not just about the price tag. This guitar is a Fender custom shop Telecaster, so it is expensive, of course. But if you grab a really affordable T-style, you still have that mojo. The next point number 3 is, well, it's the lack of character, if needed. Let me explain that. The thing about these guitars is that if you know your way around, different pedals or amps, you can get away with using a Tele without anyone recognizing it really easily. You don't need crazy EQ pedals and effects and special amps to get there. You just turn down the tone a tiny bit, and all of a sudden the guitar can sound like a P90 guitar. You can get away with a lot more gain than with, let's say, a Strat on the bridge pickup, because the bridge pickup of T-style guitars just has so much more mid-range that drives love that. They just don't sound shrill at all. They sound awesome, as a matter of fact. And same goes for the neck pickup. You can have a very nice and traditional Tele-esque warm single coil sound, but with some drive on, if you have a bit more modern single coil, you can have a really stratty sound. And then if you turn down the tone just a bit to like 70%, you'll have an almost PAF style sort of percussive humbucker sound, or at least a P90 sound. Super versatile. It doesn't have to scream Tele if you don't want to. Next point is, well, it's actually two different scenarios, but they belong together. So the first one is Teles fit in a band mix really well. Like, you know how keyboards and bass and another guitar player and vocalists and drums and all the other instruments will cover a lot of the frequency range. So you don't have a lot left for you as a guitar player. A Tele usually has a very easy to hear kind of voicing with all that twang and those like presence frequencies. And you don't have to tweak a lot on these guitars to make them perfectly fit in a band mix. The second part of this point is really the recording capabilities. You have no idea how many albums are being made with Telecasters in the mix, even if the band doesn't really advertise it because they're known for other guitar types, but at least as a second guitar in a mix, you'll usually find Teles because they are just so good in finding those unoccupied frequencies. The next important factor about Teles is how stable and sturdy they are. They're basically cockroaches. It's crazy how well they hold tuning, how much beats they can take. I mean, look at this guitar. I owned this for 9 years, and most of all the scratches and those things you see are, you know, signs of that. It's this came as a journeyman relic, so the only actual visible relicing was the back of the neck and some little minor dings and dongs and the weather checking, but everything that's massive and ugly, that just happened on stage. And this is still as stable and barely ever have to tune it, and it just keeps on working. This is an appeal, definitely. It's also interesting how every scratch and ding and whatever makes Teles look just cooler. They have this visual statement. It's like an ugly kind of pretty or a pretty kind of ugly. It's like a stray dog. One ear is like this, the other one's like that. And you're like, oh. And the last point is, well, it's ergonomics or lack of such. It's a flat top, no tummy cut, no arm cut, no whatever, just a simple 4-bolt neck. It is very basic, but that's exactly what makes it so lovable and also so close to acoustic guitars. That's why you'll see a lot of like singer-songwriters and people who just play chords, big old strummings and singing over that. That's something that you'll see a lot because of all of those good things. First of all, it kind of feels like a slim acoustic, and also the frequency, the sound, it just works perfectly for vocalists as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Telecasters, and of course, with all this tone talk aside, what really matters is to enjoy playing the guitar regardless of the rig and how good it sounds. See you in the next one.